right about now. Deadly Gaming's Deadly Cast presents the Boats and Chose podcast show. Now here's your two hosts, two guys who are up to no good and who are going to cause trouble in your neighborhood.
I'm John a Boat.
And I'm Name No One Chose.
This is a mug full of whiskey.
And this is the Boats and Chose show. Hey Deadly Gamers, here we are. Finally have the Boats and Chose Deadly Cast show up and running. Let's get right into it. We are going to talk about the Player of the Month winner from last month and the May nominees. We are going to talk about this week's Deadly Gaming event from our events team. We're also going to give a shout out to all of our new Deadly recruits. And the big meat of the entire podcast, we're going to talk free-to-play models and subscription models and where we feel they're going or headed. Now, John, let's start off with the Player of the Month winner from last year. I'll let you talk a little about him because I think you know him very well.
Yeah, he's such a great part of the community. He's just such a great guy, and you know, I think he's doing a Deadly Gaming podcast show.
Yeah, I heard he has a pedo stash too.
That's me. Aw.
Yeah.
But I think you should tell us about the next month's nominees.
Maybe I should. You're right. Because let's go over all the nominees. We have Mr. Ninja, who I would definitely say is worthy. Visari, who has put in a lot of effort and a lot of things, has done a lot of good as far as our, let's say the articles. He's done a lot of good articles. That's what I really want to get out. And also, I'm a nominee, but you know, I wouldn't vote for me. I'd vote for Visari. Yeah, see, yeah, he's even throwing it that way. But we're all three nominees. Name No One Chose, Ninja and Visari are the Player of the Month nominees for next month. We have the Player of the Month winner right here, and I'm John a Boat. Now, John, is there anything you want to say to them on how you got all those votes?
It's probably my mustache.
It's the mustache. Okay.
It's not me.
All right, we'll move right into the next article. We have this week's Deadly Gaming event from our Deadly Gaming's events team. Steve-O and Sleeps are the ones you want to get with as far as getting the info on that. They have posted it. It's going to be with Call of Duty 4. Now, we've been arguing back and forth on the forums about whether or not we're going to do Pro Mod or not. Some of you have even asked, what is Pro Mod? All it does is a limitation to make sure that all the perks are the same, fairness. I'm not a big fan of Claymores, Noob Tubes, C4s. Sleepster knows what I'm talking about. He seemed to use those quite a bit last time we played. But the server is up, and anybody can go in there and hang out and play, and that's what we're kind of pushing for. People getting in to try it now. The server info, I believe, is on our Steam group. And like I said, once again, get with Steve-O or Sleepster on that information. They'll be able to take care of you. Now, they wanted me to talk about what's happening at the end of the month, and I'll let you say a little bit about that.
I hear it's going to be a Battlefield 4 event. I'm pretty excited about that. Got to reinstall that one again. Been playing too much Hardline.
Yeah, I actually have quite a bit of Hardline playing that I put under my belt too. Actually, I think I played more Hardline than Battlefield 4, maybe 17 hours total in BF4.
Well, we played BF4 during the release, and I hear it got a lot better.
well, yeah, it took 2 years, right? We'll digress. We won't talk about that too much. I'm going to let John give a shout out to all of our newest Deadly recruits. We're going to go by each one now.
All right, we got Noah 20 Attack, The Great Lynx, LaFerries, Rish 1997, Xander, our friend number 1D, that's Daniel.
That's our real life friend, by the way. We finally brought him over to the dark side.
Yes. And we also have Gyrath. He has 2 exclamation points at the end of his name, so I had to yell it.
Yeah, of course.
And those are our recruits.
There we go. Now it's a shout out to you guys. Now, anytime there's a new recruit, if we happen to miss you, let us know. But any new recruit that comes in, you will get a shout out every Boats and Chose show, so we do want you guys to give us the information we need to do that.
And welcome home.
Yeah, welcome home, actually, yes. Let's move right into what we're going to talk about, the free-to-play portion, or subscription-based. Now, we had a little argument the other night about it, because we talked about something that I want to get to the latter part of it, but let's talk about like the free-to-play model. Now, most of you know the game League of Legends. League of Legends has created this free-to-play model that has been so great among so many different, like it brought in a huge player base, huge player base, and now you see other games doing the same thing. Now, even though League of Legends was based off of the original UMS from Frozen Throne, Dota that's out now in Steam is the same thing. It's a free-to-play model where it's all aesthetics. Infinite Crisis, which is a DC-backed MOBA. These are all MOBAs we're talking about at the moment. Just so happens that they all kind of coincide with the free-to-play model. IC, or Infinite Crisis, is following that. Even also Arcade. Now, I know some people played Arcade. You and I played it a little bit. Yeah. I actually like the game. I just dislike the whole land maintenance thing all the time. Now, that game is a free-to-play game, but it's also subscription-based. So in the subscription base, you're paying to always have the ability to own land and gain taxes, but you can actually own more land than a subscription can help you hold, which I also disagree with that model. So why, what's the whole point? The whole land owning thing, getting by it. But if you're a free to play person, you can eventually work your way up, get enough items or in-game gold to purchase in-game currency, which allows you to buy a subscription. So as a free to play game, you can now become a subscriber, even though it's like a weird kind of hybrid model. Mm-hmm. I mean, you played a little bit, right? Yeah. So
I wasn't a huge fan of the loot system. You couldn't, sit there and grind a boss over and over again to get a really great item. You get mediocre items, and the crafting items would always trump everything else.
That's true.
So it always came back to, who farmed the most or who did this the most. Crafted items won, and labor points got you crafted items.
Yeah, and labor points you'd acquire by being a subscribed member, blah, blah, blah. So that model, like we're saying, the way it's going towards, even though I liked Arcade as a game, I didn't necessarily like their model in the end. So yeah, exactly. I kind of put it at the end there. Now, I've actually heard some rumors, and this is where we got in the big argument, of a subscription-based first-person shooter style. Exactly. Pay, $5, $10 a month to be able to play online in a first-person shooter. I think that's ridiculous. I'm shelling out $60 for a game anyways. Why would I pay for a subscription for a first-person shooter-style game, i.e., for example, make it a Call of Duty? The next Call of Duty, Black Ops 3, is going to be a subscription-based. You pay $5 a month to play on the multiplayer servers. I think that is absolute bullshit. But, I mean, what do you think?
I think it's bullshit too, but, if the company wants to make money, they're going to make their money. They can either sell the servers to individuals and make their money that way, or they could charge everyone and make more money.
And that was part of another thing we argued about. Dedicated servers. Everybody wants dedicated servers on the Call of Duties, the Battlefield, so on and so forth. That they do for Battlefield. You can buy them from third-party vendors, and you have your own server. You're paying for the slots via the third party. Now, if Treyarch or whoever's in charge of the Call of Duty series wants to make you pay a subscription, we want dedicated servers. We've been yelling for dedicated servers for I don't know how long. In fact, when you log on Call of Duty 4, when you get it installed for this week's event, you'll see that there's still almost 4,000 servers online that were from third-party servers. You can build them from your own home like we did with what Sleepster did. Our server is running an actual COD 4 server for the event. There's so many servers because they're dedicated servers. You can mod them. You can do what you want. You're now becoming the player base. They're fearful that they're losing all the money. Now, I don't care. I want a dedicated server. If they're really worried about that, then they need to monetize the servers. Say, okay, guys, game servers, for example, will allow you our server-based software, Archon tools, whatever. You can run servers, but we're going to charge you X amount. You can charge whatever you want to somebody else, but we're going to charge you X amount for this license to sell servers, or example, sell servers to multiple, hosting things. So if we decided we wanted a server, we'd pay game servers, who would in turn pay Treyarch or whatever Call of Duty service there is. I think that's more of an easier model, a correct model, but we'll kind of see how that goes. I don't know what your take is on it. I think that's the best way to do it. You can have dedicated servers and still get your money too if you're the big game company.
I feel like shooters make their money anyways. I mean, it's pretty much the same engine, reskin it a little bit, add a couple new mechanics. It's not a ground up project every first person shooter you get anymore. I mean,
that's true. Now, for example, though, would you prefer dedicated servers? Is that what you want?
Yes, dedicated servers are awesome. They're always awesome. I'd rather wait in queue than wait for matchmaking because it's terrible.
Oh, there you go. So he's talking about, for example, Hardline, you have to wait in queue if you're too many people trying to get the server. But yeah, do that even for, allow that option for the Call of Duty series, and now you got a better Call of Duty series. I don't want to get into a whole fight between Battlefield and Call of Duty. This is more about the subscription-based stuff, because this is like our fix to actually have, instead of subscriptions, you would have them making money on the server side and so is the third-party server vendors. I think that's the best way to do it, but we'll see. Now, is there anything else you want to add to what we're talking about here?
Other than the free-to-play subscription stuff, if you're going to have a cash shop, it needs to be cosmetic stuff, like League of Legends. You don't pay money and you don't get
And Dota. Even though it's a free cash shop, people monetize. They say this item is worth this much because it's this rarity. And they actually set the market for it, not Valve, which is really neat.
Yeah, it's almost like the Team Fortress 2.
Exactly. That same central model. It's the Valve model that most people have seen.
You got... People are paying stuff just so they could look like they're better at the game almost.
Hey, look, I look really cool because I can do this different animation than you because I paid for it. That's fine. But I'll do stick with the basic model. If I'm a better player, it doesn't matter, right?
Mm-hmm. Like I downloaded Smite 2 days ago, and I was playing the god Ra. They have an America skin of Ra. It's amazing. A giant eagle bird with the American flag. It's pretty cool. I want to play Ra now.
With that being said, America. Yeah, it puts me in the heart. I don't really have anything else to say. I think we can start wrapping this bad boy up.
Yes, sir.
I would like to say, though, if you guys want us to continue doing this and keep it going, we'll do this every time we can once we get all the information we need. We need you guys to give us more multimedia stuff. I mean, I think our next Deadly Cast and Boats and Show will be specifically on multimedia and what we need to do to boost us in the whole social media, multimedia side of it.
Not just this show, but a clan as a whole.
Yeah, clan as a whole. Like, we want more people using our Twitch channels. We want more people... I mean, I don't want to get into it because I want to get into it next time. But we definitely want you guys to continue on here. We want you to please subscribe below. We're going to have all the links below that you need to subscribe, follow, whatever you need to do. They're all going to be there. Please do it. We want to get Deadly Gaming as a big community working together. We want you to vote properly on Top 100. By the way, John has been informing people you can vote on your phone. You got an Android device? Do you have an Apple device? You can vote. That's twice a day. That's twice the votes we need to get shoot up to the top. I know we have an issue with the banner. We're trying to get that taken care of. But you still see us. We're number 8 as at last I looked as of, 20 minutes ago.
Like 20 votes away from number 6.
There you go. 20 votes away from number 6.
Something
10 people voting there 2 times a day gets us where we need to be. By doing this, by helping us out, we can start utilizing the planned segments that we have. So some of the segments that we have is... what I like to call our XXX version of ownage. We call it...
Pornography.
There you go. Pornography. It's going to be Deadly Gaming specific kills, frags, explosions, whatever you want to say. That's what we want on there. I mean, we want you to give us your videos so we can now put them up there and we can utilize the community and have it constantly being broadcast. Another one is gaming nutrition with Chef Generation.
Hey, I heard you like fish soup.
I think I've heard fish soup before. I think I know from who. And we're also going to have player spotlights because we want everybody to get to know the community. So we're going to try to bring a player in, just to talk about them, basic questions. We'll even actually ask you guys to give us questions you want to ask them yourself via Twitter or the comments in the section below. Whatever. We just want more content from our actual community. We want to keep this going. And also we're going to do a who what segment. More like a rapid fire burst questions, funny stuff, just kind of keep it going. But that's what we want. That's what we have planned in store. That's what we want to do. So like I said before, please like, follow, subscribe. All the links below. We're going to keep going with this. Thank you guys very much.
I'm John About.
And I'm Name No One Chose.
Good night.
Good night.